Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to our Thursday Namaste sessions. Great to join all of you everywhere, literally everywhere. Wherever you may be, that is where everywhere is. And that's what we are celebrating today. And celebrate we will. We're going to be starting off with a fun, happy song and a happy lesson. And these lessons are very practical. In fact, just a few minutes ago, someone told me how they spent a good amount of time yesterday in the dentist chair, and how chanting the Resting in God chant that we did yesterday was so very helpful. There he is. So these chants, these prayers are easy to apply to our lives, and this one is going to be no different. So let me go ahead and I'll share the screen. We'll bring up our daily lesson today. My shining light brightens the world. Isn't that a beautiful thought? The light within me brightens the entire world. So let's sing that. Here we go. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world. Sing that with me. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world. Oh yeah. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world. It is true. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world. One more time. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world. From a great distance, the stars at night, they all are shining. Yes, they are shining bright. The constellations against a velvet sky, they all remind me that I am here to fly higher than the sun, dive deeper than the sea. My light is shining, my light is shining. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world. Oh yeah. My shining light brightens the world, it brightens the world. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world. My shining light brightens the world, it brightens the world, brightens the world. My shining light. So today's word is shine. I like that word. My shining light brightens the world. From a great distance, the stars at night shine brightly. A constellation of brilliance that resembles an array of diamonds against an inky velvet sky. If I were able to see the stars from a closer distance, I would see each star as an individual light. no two alike. All the lights shining together illuminate the sky, but if even one were missing, the sky would not be as bright. I am a star, shining my divine light as only I can. No one else has my exact gifts and abilities. No one can express the goodness and grace of God exactly the way I can. This is true of me and everyone else on earth. Each person is a brilliant star, shining the light of God uniquely, contributing to our shared luminous life. And from 1 Corinthians, there is one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the stars. Indeed, stars differ from star in glory. So let's sing that one more time. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world. My shining light brightens the world, it brightens the world. Let it build now. My shining light brightens the world, it brightens the world. My shining light brightens the world, it brightens the world. My shining light brightens the world, brightens the world, brightens the world now. My shining light. I'm just wondering this morning, how many of you are able to accept that, to receive that? Or do you shrink back and say, oh, well, my light is so small, it can't really have that much effect. Let me have the other microphone. Thank you. What can I offer to this greater... Microphones are acting up today. Is it really true that my light is brightening the whole world? Think about that for a moment. That the light within me illuminates and brings brightness and radiance to everyone. Of course it's true. The idea that it's not true, the idea that I'm less than, or other than, or whatever than, is that part within me that shrinks away from the light that I am, from some strange, mad idea of guilt. That's always the source. It always comes back to some strange idea that I did something, I am something, there was something that happened that I don't remember, but I feel this idea of original sin. Maybe I wasn't even the one responsible for it. Maybe it was a man and a woman at the beginning of time who ate an apple. Many people believe that, and it stained me. I am stained somehow. My humanness is a stain. And all these lessons are trying to get you to see is that that is not who you are. Who you are, the truth of who you are, is the holy, perfect child of God. And that not only does your light brighten the world, but the light within you is the light. It is the actual light. Because remember, there's only one extension of the love and the loveliness of God. There's only one extension of the light of God. Now, we may break that off into what seem to be an uncountable number of pieces, and one piece is Ravi, another piece is Deborah, another piece is James. But is that really so? Is that how God would see it? I guess is the question. Whatever God is, I mean, as you know, I don't believe in a personal God, like an entity, a being. I don't believe in God. I believe in only God. I believe that that's all there is. For me, the closest thing that I come to it in sort of a modern sort of understanding is the Force in Star Wars. That all illuminating, all encompassing force, of love. I mean, we say God is love and therefore so am I. So doesn't it make sense for us just to say that God is that all-pervading, all-encompassing force of love beyond my imagination, beyond any idea that I could ever possibly have. And I am not only contained within that love, but I am that. Not this limited idea where I shrink and hide in some silly idea of original sin or guilt, but to let that be released. And when it's released, there's a brightness that begins to shine forth within me. And when people come near you, people feel that and they want that. We all know people that when we're just with them, we feel something come alive within us. I'm sure Teddy will tell you that people say that about Vicky all the time. I can see him nodding his head. Anyone who knows Vicky, they just want to sit next to her. She doesn't need to talk about spiritual stuff. I hope I'm embarrassing you, Vicky, but it's true. When they had the big house in Quincy, 2 weeks ago? They just sold it. People would just show up day and night. I'm not kidding. They would just show up. Every day there was a train of people who would come by, not for any particular reason, just to sit there and hang out and play dominoes. Vicky loves to play dominoes. Or to just show up for a meal. Because there's something about the brightness of her being, that unleashed quality of light, the radiance that people are drawn to. Now, there are other people maybe who love to talk about spiritual topics and love to impress everyone with how much they know or how much they've read or what teachings they follow. But there's no radiance in that. You don't have to say anything to radiate. And that's what we're drawn to. That's what this lesson means. My light brightens the whole world. In the end, it's the realization that there is only one light in the world. There is only one child of God, one extension of holiness. And it's me, it's you. Now, that doesn't make any sense. I get it. How could it be all of us individually together? I don't know. The difference between me and most people is I don't try and figure it out, but I feel it. There is an experience that is awakened within me that knows that this is true. I call it the 13-inch journey. From here to here. It's the only real journey there is. I know it because there is an experience within me that has broken through any need that I have to understand any of this intellectually. So when I say that Ravi is the single expression of the love and the loveliness of God, and Renate is a single expression of the love and the loveliness of God, or I point at anyone and say that, it doesn't make sense logically because they would say, well, but that's one person and that's another. How could both of them be that? I don't know. That's why I like living in the I don't know. But I do know, that's the thing. I don't know, but I do know. I feel. There is a knowingness within me that is beyond me. There is a knowingness within me that is beyond the idea or the identity of me. And that's what I trust. That's what I rely upon. And it's much more akin to a feeling than it is to an intellectual thought. All those intellectual thoughts just get in the way for the most part. They serve a purpose at some point maybe, but it's really the heart. Someone was talking about heart math this morning. It was you talking about heart math this morning. The heart has a far greater intelligence than the mind does. We need to trust that. Maybe that's what that 13-inch journey is, trusting the heart and the intelligence therein. But the only thing you really need to know, even if you don't have this experience yet, begin there. Begin with your original innocence, not your original sin. There is no original sin except in your mind, your supposed need to hide from your innocence. And we need that no longer. Your light illumines the whole world. That's the only thing you need to know. Just trust that, fall into that, surrender to that. That's all you need to do. So now we will turn to that domino playing woman in Quincy, Massachusetts. Vicki, take it from here.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Brother James. Thanks for all those kind words. You know what it made me realize, though? My experience when anyone comes is delight. I like the word delight, of light. It's literally of light. So when someone comes, I light up because I'm so excited that the light has come. And then I can't think of anything to do except play. There's nothing to do. There's no need to do a lot of talking. And that's why play is a way to join in delight. And whether it's dominoes or cards or whatever it is, those are ways. It's really how happy children hang out together and enjoy the radiance of light that just seems more expansive when we join together and we're all together. It's why we come to this room. We truly delight in one another. We are of the light and we enjoy it when anyone speaks. We enjoy when you speak, Jimmy, but all of us, everyone, whether it's a prayer on the altar or a sharing, the delight of listening to the light of Christ through each other is so recognizable that our enjoyment of each other broadens our own experience of ourselves being the light, very humbly, but nothing else. We are the light, and the rest doesn't matter. All our cares and concerns, they don't matter. And they particularly don't matter when we join in relaxing and resting and playing and being together, joining and being together for no other reason but to delight in the light that we are. So thank you for all those kind words. And we are a steady stream of light passing through and around each other. And what a gift to recognize it and know it as we do in this room each day. But the gift is there wherever we are. It's for us to recognize it and enjoy it, whether at the supermarket or the gas station. So
What is that great line in the course? Salvation is a game that happy children play.
It is.
Do I have that right? Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
That's it right there. It's a game that happy children play. And I mean, I've been with you, Vicki and Teddy, together in Wisconsin and Quincy, probably hundreds of times. And rarely do I hear Vicki talk about spiritual stuff. He just doesn't do it for him. If need be in the moment, or if someone asks a question, sure. But here in this session, she talks about it because that's what's been asked. But all she really does is play. And salvation is a game that happy children play, and that's why when people show up, first thing she does is take out the cards, take out the dominoes, whatever it may be, and just start playing with them like we're all children, and we are. And that's delightful. I'm glad you used that word. That is delight. And that's radiance. And that's vibrance. I love all those words. Vibrance is a good word too, because it means we're vibrating together in a very heightened, excited way. And then when you get to this point where there's nothing left to do but that, I mean, that's exciting. Just to come together and vibrate and celebrate and be joyous. Okay, Teddy, it's up to you now. Take us home.
Well, um, I think there's a certain amount of humility that comes with the ability to do that because there's a recognition of not knowing and like our past thoughts don't satisfy us. So there's a way in which we can learn to allow our minds to be open so that we're not using our own thinking, but we're having an experience that's being given to us. And I think that's where the joy comes from. And part of the joy in receiving that experience is giving it away. Now, everybody learns how to give it away in their own, but it doesn't require words. It just requires a continued being open to the receiving so as to give. Um, and I mean, especially with the course, I don't hear it that much in Unity, but especially with the course, when they're telling you, you know, that as a person in space and time, you were subject to a tiny mad idea, which we remembered not to laugh. So obviously, there's a moment where we start to remember this stupidity idea, and instead of condemning ourselves, we begin to laugh at the ridiculousness of it, because if God is eternal and creates eternally, then we were eternally created by Him as an extension of Him, and that's not ever going to change. Um, and thinking we know what that is based on thoughts of our own is what inhibits the experience each moment when it's available. Um, and I think that's what we want everybody to have that experience, because they can only give that to themselves based on their desire to understand and to receive that. And that's the best any of us can do, is just to increase somebody's desire to want that experience so that eventually they give up thinking that they know what it is or how to have it and just sit and let their minds and hearts become open. And then your mind and heart work in conjunction with reality, with the light, as the light. And you can express it in ways that are non-traditional, and that's the biggest thing. It's people hear words and they think they know what they mean because they've heard the words before, and when we can put them together in a non-traditional way to help people want to hear what you're saying rather than to think they know what you're saying, something goes on and minds open up, and your heart, when it's not clouded by the thoughts of your mind, is automatically open to the experience. And that's where all the joy actually is, living in that state of being rather than thinking there's something to do here on the planet in order for us to survive. And that's where like the humility comes in, and a certain understanding that this isn't a real world anyway. And the function isn't to make it a better world, but is to escape the world from which we thought life was born into and which we die out of. None of that's true.
Mm, yeah. It makes me want to sing that song that you've all heard me sing before. Stay simple, stay humble, and stay awake. This is a game that happy children play. And it's time. This is the moment. There is only this moment right now for us to play this game, whether it be dominoes or life. and to just enjoy it. And I'm so glad that you brought up humility, Teddy, because it is in that state of realizing that I cannot know in my mind, that releases me from trying to know what cannot be known, and allows me just to relax into the unknown, which has always known me. Wow, I probably could never say that again in 1,000 years. But there was something there, I know it. It has always known me. The light has always known me. But by stepping into the unknown, getting comfortable with that, getting comfortable sitting and resting there, just resting in the, I don't need to know this intellectually, but I can be it. I can vibrate it. I can play with this. And that's what releases me. That's what allows me to see that the world that I thought was the real world is not, and that beyond this world, there is a world that I really want. And then the desire for the truth, for reality, for that highest vibrancy builds within me. I'm going to turn to, yes, please go ahead, Vicki.
Okay. Just what you were describing, when we relax into that and any two of us come together for no reason, that's what happens. It becomes a communion, and that's why we enjoy it so much. So I just wanted to P.S. here.
Well, I hope people are still going to stop by your small apartment and play dominoes with you, because
we got two
Oh, we
coming.
got a steady flow starting at 8:30 already. We're on
She was already in the pool with somebody, and there's somebody coming at 11,
and
and somebody
1:30.
coming at 1:30.
that's what happens. People
Yeah.
are drawn to it. I want to turn to one more person here. I was just scanning the room before, and I saw our beautiful sister Alice, her lovely face, and I felt that sparkle that I sometimes feel. So I'm going to turn to Alice real quick before we do our prayers together, and see what vibrant message is going to come through her today. Good morning, Alice.
Thank you, James. Do you know, I was thinking of so many things, not even thinking, just feeling so many things. Do you know what helps us shine is a smile? Now, if everybody on this Zoom right now smiles, smile, please. And feel the shine coming through your heart as you're smiling. Look at us all. Look at our shininess. You know, we don't want to bury our shine under a bushel, do we? We shine. It's our birthright. We're made in light and in love and in peace. And you know, and what do we see when we look in somebody's eyes? We see that little tiny bit of light, and that is the shine that comes through our souls and our spirit. You know? And it's beautiful. So remember to smile. Remember to shine with your smile. I know that when I smile, I feel different. I feel like I'm shining. And I feel like I'm blessing somebody with a shine. And when they smile at me, if I'm feeling kind of low or something, and I get a smile, especially from a child, I feel a light has actually powed me right in the heart. You know, pow, shine. And it's wonderful. And I was looking up this word, as I do every day before our Zoom call, and I thought, shine. Yes, it's so much more than what we've even said or what we can say about it. And it's a wonderful word, and it's a wonderful smile, and it's a wonderful light, and it's yeah. So smile and shine. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Alice. 2,000 years ago, Jesus said, let your light shine. Don't put it under a bushel basket. Let it shine so all the world can see and be inspired, and in doing so, be willing to let their light shine. That's all we're doing. And it begins with a smile. It's so simple. This is a game that happy children play. So let's go out and be happy today and share this. Smile at people, say hello, whatever you're doing, but but love them. You don't have to know any more than that. Don't try and know any more than that. Why? Because there isn't any more than that. That's the whole thing. Let your light shine. The light will do the rest. There's nothing more. So thank you to all of you. It's been such a pleasure sharing this simple, beautiful message.